sale at my local yarn store, but should I buy more yarn?
No. Look at all the yarn that's already on your shelf. You can make lots of things with that. You don't need to buy more yarn. You need to buy more yarn. Yarn! All you want is yarn. Yarn. Buy it. Buy it now. Buy it now. No more yarn. Yes, more yarn. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes.
My old Navy cash is crying. Uber rewards have all expired. My Starbucks stars have all burned out.
Oh no.
There's just one thing, and it's not disposable fashion. Ew. It really makes me scream and shout. Yarn. Oh, I start to salivate. Yarn. My whole body starts to shake. Yarn. My heart starts to palpitate. Yarn. Some folks get off on the Duke of Hastings, but I'd rather go to a yarn tasting. Yarn.
Yeah!
There's a skein, I know, and a project I've been dreaming of, yeah. New yarn, new yarn, new yarn. Yes. Sorry, I had to drop the button that I used to press record. Look at this beautiful baby. Fresh from Debbie's yarn womb, from the Loving Path in London, Ontario. That's right. This is part of the Be a Freaking Unicorn initiative that we had going on last month, most of May. And now I'm going to make a Be a Freaking Unicorn, Be a Freaking Unicorn. Oops, I think I was saying a swear word, was I? I'm gonna make Be a Freaking Unicorn project. And if you got some unicorn yarn, make sure that you tag the initiative on Instagram. If you make a project out of the yarn that you received, you can see I still got the little Loving Path pin on there. I haven't wound it, I haven't taken it apart. It came with like a beautiful handwritten thank you and some tea. So, you know, Debbie is doing it right. That's what I'm talking about. It's absolutely beautiful. Can't wait. And I'm gonna make some socks out of it. I mean, I think that's what needs to happen. It's lovely. But wait, my name is Janine. I live in Toronto. I live in Etobicoke in Toronto. It's like a little bit west, a little bit south, down by the water, close-ish. And I have 2 kids. I teach at a performing arts high school. I teach musical theater and drama. And a quick shout out to my students because they are the greatest people in the world. And getting to spend time with them and do my job at the same time is pretty much the best thing that ever happened to anyone. So I just want to say I love you to any of my students that are out there. So what else do I need to tell you? You can do the YouTube things. If you like this podcast, you can like it, you can subscribe, and you can click notifications, and then it'll let you know when the next one's up. But I podcast about every 2 weeks and try and get the podcast up on the Sunday. I interview a lot of yarn stores, and I'm going to start to interview some yarn dyers, and I'm very excited about all of that. So I hope you join me for the further adventures after this episode. So we're at episode 4. Can you believe it? I feel like, you know, this little baby, it just got born into the world. My first episode hit 1,000 views. So thank you to everyone that helped make that happen. My students were cheering me on when I told them. See, this is the kind of person we're talking about. I turned 43 last week, and they all sang me the most beautiful leggy Zoom happy birthday song you ever did hear. It was just a very special moment, and turned their cameras on and sang happy birthday to me. So, you know, there's just a lot of joy, which is amazing at this point in semi-lockdown Ontario. Are we still in lockdown? We don't really know. Things aren't open yet, but the stay-at-home order ended, or did it? No one knows. But I'm still staying at home for now until I'm fully vaccinated, which I hope to happen in August. So you can find me on Instagram as well at Frankenfrog, and I'll put that up there. All my show notes are below. I make sure that you know the yarns that we're talking about, the projects. I try and slap a project photo up if you need it. So hopefully all of that helps you really connect with the content that I'm talking about in this podcast. So, new yarn. I showed you the one skein I got from The Loving Path, and I'm super excited about that. But I also got, it's not in skeins anymore, but I'll put the picture of the skeins up here. But I got some new yarn from Trailhead yarns, and I'm gonna hold it nice and close. And I'm not going to tell you too many details about Trailhead right now, because you're going to hear a little bit about Trailhead in the interview that I did with Bistitchual that you're going to see later in this podcast. And I have to say, I learned so much from this interview, and it really excited me a lot about, you know, the fiber and the water that goes into creating a fiber, which companies use partially recycled fibers, or I just found it really interesting, because that's not something that all of us are, it's not information we're all privy to, right? So I hope that you really like that interview. I am making a shawl out of this, which I'll show you in a bit. I talked about it last time. I think that's all the new yarn I got, yes. Next, works in progress. So I have a couple things on the go. Okay, I am not going to show you the Timberland cardigan because I haven't touched it. I'm sorry, husband. But it's summer and I have to make summer things. So also I have the project that I'm completing for my friend who made me a dress. I'm going to show you the dress that she made me right here, and I can never remember what the name of this dress is. It's a McCall's pattern, I think. So I'm going to show you the dress right here. It's probably me dancing like the complete fool that I am. But I will show you the sweater in progress. So once again, this is the Batignolles sweater. And she did the yoke and I did the body. And so you can see that I am now, get off there, yarn, in a special place. It's called Polka Dot Sleeve Island. It is a beautiful tropical place where you can just sit back and relax and knit a sleeve for many years. So, yeah, and I'll show you the front again. Yes, if you recall, this is gonna be a steeked situation. So, you know, it's happening. It's gonna be finished at some point. I don't know how excited you get by tiny nubbins of shawls. You know when a shawl is like first born and it's like, meep. That's how much of this shawl that I started that I have finished. So, are you ready? I don't want you to get overwhelmed by its cuteness, but okay, so this is the baby beginning of the stars in your hand shawl. Stars in your hands. You have more than one hand. So you can see there's a little mix of the Trailhead yarns in there, which the Trailhead yarns is cotton and something. We'll find out in the Bistitchual interview. And it uses a bunch of different colors of mohair. So here I've got some Lichen and lace mohair in like kind of a darkish blue. So I'm really excited to see that take shape. Additionally, I have, did you hear me slap my legs? That's how you know I'm wearing short, soft pants. So additionally, I am working on one of my favorite things that I've made recently, but the one for myself. This is gonna be the outline tank. It doesn't look that interesting so far, except for look at the fabric of that beautiful hemp yarn. It is so nice to work with. Honestly, if you've never tried hemp, this is a combination of cotton, hemp, and modal, which is Hempton yarns that I got at Bistitchual, and I love it. It even has a little bit of give, so it doesn't have that completely like stiff, uncomfortable feeling of knitting with cotton, even though this is partially cotton. Also, it's not splitty. So when I'm knitting it, I get pretty good speed going on this thing. Yeah, I finished the shorts, which I'll show you in a second. I wanted to finish both things in 2 weeks, but no, that's not really realistic. Yeah, those are all my works in progress. Let me show you what I finished. I only finished one thing, but they are my So Summer shorts by Jessie May. Listen, I'm gonna stand up, but I've been sitting down for a while, so they're probably like a little crinkled. But I'll also put up like, here, yeah, they're a little crinkled. But I'll also put up a little video of me also acting like a fool and wearing them when I first finished them. But they are amazing. Jessie May is definitely a genius. And the way that they're designed, like even this part at the waistband, which you start with, is just so cute and really like fits well at the waist. And then, yeah, it's a little crumpled. Yeah, and then, you know, the increases are just right, and the German short rows work really well, and you can't really see those short rows, no, like a wrap and turn. So yeah, I really loved making them. I was absolutely addicted to doing it. And then they slope down a little bit at the back so that when you're at the park, you know, bending down to pick up your goldfish crackers, then you don't show everybody your butt. So that's good times all around for everyone. Okay. We got through all of that. Now it is time for my interview with Kelsey and John of Bistitchual, and their yarn store is relatively new, and it's just kind of a beautiful breath of fresh air, because they're both young and they are really excited about the types of fibers they offer, all Canadian / queer dyed yarns, and so many kind of sustainable choices in their store. You're gonna see all about it, so I'm not gonna give you any more spoilers. Let's just go for it. Okay, here they are. Please enjoy. All right, we are live. Woohoo! I'm here with Bistitchual, with Kelsey and John of Bistitchual. Yay! And your store is located 708 Annette Street. Yeah, in the Junction. So welcome.
Thank you. We are very excited to be here.
Yeah.
Excellent. And how are things in the store today, John? What's going down?
It's nice. It's been very cold in here, basically, since we moved in. But today's a very nice day for it to be very, very cold.
Speaking of Bistitchual, the store name, let's talk a little bit about that, because I know as soon as I heard about your store from Kelsey's mom, on the Facebook, yeah, I was immediately drawn to the name, and I thought, okay, I really want to patronize this store. So can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, big old shout out to my mom, who's our #1 fan. And
nothing without Lori.
Yeah, we'd be nothing without my mom. She is every small business's #1 fan and champion of, and like so many people come in the store and be like, oh, I heard about this from your mom. Even the person who works at the coffee shop down the street was like, someone's mom came in and told me to go check this out.
regularly.
Yeah.
Just so people don't forget.
I know. She's the best.
You gotta love it.
She is the best. But this is not about my mom. This is about the store, which is also great. John and I are both bi, and one of the hallmarks of bi culture is just the worst puns. Just the worse they are, the better. So at like 3 a.m. one night, John texted me being like, I don't know, do you want to do a podcast? And I was like, call it Bistitchual. And that was it. That's how it started. We immediately just like locked down on all the social medias. We're like, this is a pun we are not letting get away.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And even like your logo is so cute. And then the podcast yarn ball with the headphones.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And so Bistitchual is obviously a pun on bisexual. And it's also bi and bisexual is, you know, attraction to one or more genders. And so Bistitchual is a love of one or more stitch craft. And so John and I both knit and crochet. Then so yeah, it all just, you know, one pun just brings it all together.
I see people actually like tagging each other underneath your posts and telling like other people like, look at this store, like even just from the name of it, right? So that's great. How does your partnership with the Flamingo Market work? I'm really interested in hearing how it helps the public gain more access to the talents of LGBTQIA plus folks.
The partnership with the Flamingo Market is something we started like right off the bat, but it was something that we were really excited to do, is to be able to create this space for queer makers and artists to like hawk their wares basically without actually having to do it. So we have a big unit set up where we have everything on display, and we have another one over there, which I will show you later in the tour. But we have like such a great array of really amazing art from so many incredible people, and we're very proud to like give them a home.
That's excellent. And it's right there in the store and online.
Yep. And online.
Okay, great. Yeah.
The Flamingo Market is an online marketplace, and they're incredibly unique and amazing because they don't curate. Like if you're a queer maker, you can have a storefront there. They're not, you know, oh, this doesn't fit our aesthetic, this doesn't fit our brand, this won't sell well, like nothing. If you make stuff, if you make one thing and you want to sell it, you can do it on the Flamingo Market, and that's amazing. And so we're super excited to be able to showcase more of that and like give it a storefront. Like a lot of stuff, it's hard to be a maker. It's hard to be a maker and get your stuff out there, especially if you just want to make stuff and you don't want to be in charge of social media and publicity and showing people your things. You just want to make the things. We have it right by the window, so everyone can see.
And like, instead of trying to, you know, get your voice heard or your stuff out there on Etsy, where there's like hundreds of thousands of other makers, the Flamingo Market is a much more like concentrated platform.
Yeah. And we have like my favorite, one of my many favorite Flamingo Market stories is we had one of our first orders that came in was from a, what do you call it? Clay make pottery maker?
A potter?
Potter? Is that yeah?
Yeah.
And they, I don't know, man. They'd made a bunch of like really, really lovely like handmade bowls and plates and shot glass, depending on how much you like shots.
East Coast shot glass.
East Coast shot.
It's like this.
Yeah. And they just had a few pieces and they brought them in and they're like, this is the first time I've ever been in the store, and this is they were so emotional, and then I got emotional, and they're like, I'm like, this means so much, like to have my stuff in the store. This is like amazing. Thank you so much. Like, and I was like, ah. And so we put them up, and then I don't know, like a week later, this woman came in we're not supposed to have favorite customers. She's one of my favorite customers. I don't care. And she came in a flurry, and
Naughty.
like she saw those bowls and plates and those East Coast shot glasses, and like she was waiting her whole life for this pottery set. Like nothing was so important to her as to like owning this pottery set, and she just bought it all.
That is so amazing. It's amazing to hear about that representation, because a lot of my students, right, have these offshoots they're doing. I teach high school. A lot of them are artists, and I just think that even this existing at this point would be really exciting for them as well, you know?
Yeah. And like we messaged it, or I told the customer like, yeah, like this is super exciting. I told the story of like, this is the kid's first time, like this is great. And she didn't believe me. She was like looking at me, she was like, no. So it was, yeah, it's so lovely. I love it. We're super excited. We're super happy to work in the Flamingo Market, and we love them and all the artists.
It sounds like a beautiful initiative to be like a part of and to have a hand in. Yeah. Okay. Now, drum roll, please. Could we get a tour of the store?
Heck yeah. I say that with enthusiasm because I don't have to do it.
What's the easiest way? I'm going to switch the camera so I can not look at myself while we do this.
I like when you do it front facing and you've got your face in it, and then you're trying to show things behind you. That's my favorite.
Yeah, the selfie stick is the best way to go. All right. So we have the yarn wall. And just, my little setup. But all of our yarn is from Canadian or queer dyers. So this is Ancient Arts and the newest box.
Oh my goodness, that pink
They're
in
out
the
of
box.
Alberta.
Isn't it? Ancient Arts so well.
This stuff is incredible. The pink in the box is that was your like custom colorway, isn't it?
Yeah. That was from a subscription box. It was a custom colorway for my subscription box. And then I messaged her after and I was like, hi, I need more for business reasons, not for me to make a sweater. Definitely.
That is amazing. It's
up
so
next,
beautiful.
We have, these are all natural dyes. So the top half is botanical fibers. They're out of the East Coast. I think I have a delivery. I'm so sorry.
You gotta have order pickups sometimes.
So while John is doing that, the yarn is, I love organizing things in way too particular ways, as you can tell by my bookcase.
Loving.
And so the yarn is divided by like vaguely by fiber content and like type of yarn. So everything on this far left now is our like eco-friendly, natural, like supernatural yarn. Supernatural. So the Ancient Arts is all on a like super lovely recycled wool and then mohair and silk base, and so it's super luxurious but like eco-friendly and holds colors beautifully. And then the calyx shelf, the cube shelves, those are all natural dyes, which is very cool.
Yeah, the botanical fibers. Emma, the dyer behind it, forages her own stuff to use for the dyeing.
Wow.
Underneath that, we have Pearl Scouts yarn, which is our only American dyer.
We
but
is that yarn called Sailor Moon?
It's all Sailor Moon colors. It's all of the yarn is dyed up to Sailor Moon. That's the face I made, and then I continue to make every time I look at it. It's amazing.
Fighting evil by the moonlight.
Yes, they have it. Show it, John. Show it, John. Show it.
winning love by daylight. Fighting evil by moonlight.
And it's like dyed based on the color scheme from the theme song, and it's just like, it's so beautiful.
Transformation sequence.
Oh yes.
We have like the Sailor Scouts, the Sailor Venus. We have Sailor Mercury. We have I got that wrong. That one's Pluto and that one's Mercury. I don't know my Sailor Scouts. I'm not a sailor.
Where Mars was red.
Yeah. So the Mars is like red, purple, and black.
This is Mars.
Whole outfit.
Mercury is blue.
Yes.
You did. Okay.
There's also Pink Sugar Heart Attack and Diana, Artemis, and Luna.
Artemis is not one of them.
That's Pink Sugar Heart Attack.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so it's the best. And it's all natural dyes, which makes the black in Mars really incredible because black is really hard to do with natural dyes. And she does it.
That is incredible.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay. Anything else? Anything else to show us in the show?
Moving along, we have The Loving Path. Debbie Jameson, who is the loveliest human being. She dyes all of her yarn out of her like 800 square foot home in London, which I cannot imagine doing.
Wow.
Underneath that, we have these sock star sets from Fibralia. So they're like little 50-gram cakes. So you can knit up exact like duplicate
The grades
socks.
match with your socks.
I'll worry about like, yeah, you don't have to worry about your colors, like your stripes lining up. It's all done for you. It's Paprika yarns. These cool because they're 100% Canadian, from the sheep to the milling to the dyeing, like it's all done in Canada. It's like this gorgeous, thick, warm Canadian wool.
Beautiful.
Underneath
Sorry,
that,
what
we
was
have
the
a
name
Cara.
again? We missed the name
We
of
have
the
a
yarn at
bulky
the
weight
top.
and a fingering weight.
There's such a delay. It's sweet paprika.
That one,
Oh, sweet paprika. Okay,
it's such a
thank you.
delay. We have a Cara. We have Black Cat. So all of these are like nerdy yarns. So we have some that are based on Pokemons. We've got some that are based on Star Wars. There's like Spider-Man, and some other comic character that I don't remember.
Star Sapphire.
Overwatch. Moving along, we have Trailhead yarns. We love them. They're all wool free. So there's a fingering weight blend that's cotton nylon.
Oh,
And then
wow.
there's a lace weight that is cotton linen. And like just the colors on these are incredible. Like, when have you seen cotton quite so vibrant?
Those would be great to make a Jessie May set.
Wouldn't it? Oh, that's yeah. And we love them because they're one of really the only dyers in Canada that do like hand dyed wool free stuff, because the dyer has a wool allergy and noticed that there was a huge lack of wool free yarns. And like now you can work with cotton and linen without having to miss out on all the beauty of hand dyed yarns.
Yes, it's so gorgeous. That's amazing. And it's so true. You barely ever see yarns without wool in them, right? Especially in certain seasons.
Yeah. And it's because it's a completely different dye process and requires different kinds of dyes. And wool is just, that stuff is all easier to get. It's more common. It's you know it's going to sell, whereas cotton's a bit more of a gamble. So like, it's cool. And like, who doesn't want cotton socks in the summer?
That's what you need.
What you need.
Yeah. Okay, John, what else you
and
got
in
for us?
keeping with our natural fibers, we have the hemp. So there's a hemp wool blend, there's a cashmere hemp and cotton blend, and then there's a cotton hemp and modal blend. So that one's all wool free.
Oh, I've never used hemp. I need to try.
It's so much
stunning.
nicer than I ever expected. Like the hemp wool blend is like, it's a proper sweater yarn. It'll make a beautiful, super environmentally friendly yarn. Like hemp fiber is one of the most environmentally like sustainable of the fibers. It uses way less water to process and produce, and it's super. It's a great crop, you know, for the earth, and like the yarn it makes is amazing. Especially the I made a pillow out of the cotton, hemp, and cashmere, and like my face is on it all the time. It's like, it's so soft.
Okay, that's something I definitely have to try.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's my pillow.
We've got our rainbow wall. So we just picked out all of the rainbows we got from different dyers and stuck them on a wall together. I think we missed Amaranth Fibers earlier. There's a couple very beautiful rainbows we love. There's one remaining chestnut, yes.
Yeah.
It's not a rainbow, but it was
Yay.
by inspired.
Beautiful.
Then we've got our flamingo market hutch. It's a little cleared out right now. A bunch of stuff is kind of like in the windows so that people walking by can actually like see our stuff.
Yes.
But these are some of like the bowls from the potter. There's some cute little cards. There's
Lots of
some
pins.
fun rainbow stuff.
Many pins, many mugs, many stickers, because as queers loves our pin and stickers.
Yeah,
Love
we've
it.
got,
I
like,
love
the
those
pins
mugs.
and stickers and patches. And then I think
And it's yay.
our last Canadian, is the Knit CA stuff.
We're super excited about the Knit CA yarn in particular because it's like a commercial yarn, and it's kind of equivalent to like the Pattens and Croy and stuff that you get at Michael's, but it's completely Canadian. She lives and she runs her business out of Mississauga, and it's all super affordable, super good, high quality wool and wool blends, also cotton and also pure bamboo, which is really beautiful, but it's all Canadian. And it's a really wonderful alternative to, we all love beautiful hand-dyed yarn, that's the bamboo, but it's not feasible to knit. Sweaters are super expensive. And hand-dyed yarn is worth every penny, but sometimes those pennies, you can't spare them for yarn and you need a sweater. So I've been making a lot of my own sweaters and socks and stuff out of the Knit CA, and it is every bit as good, but a fraction of the price, so we're super excited to be able to have yarn at kind of all price points, because knitting and crochet are very expensive hobbies.
Yes, and making it accessible for more Canadians to be able to do their crafts that they love. It's just a great thing to be able to do for people. Great. So, anything else? Is that the conclusion of the tour? Because if so, what is on the needles?
Oh, we also have the Fibre bags.
Okay. I'm very excited. I need more bags in my life.
These project bags are amazing. Mine's actually not here, but I literally spilt on separate occasions, because I continue to do this. I once spilt an entire glass of wine and also half a coffee on these project bags. Did not get on my yarn. My project was pristine. These things are amazing. And Fibre is another Canadian artist. She makes these amazing bags. We have all kinds of nerd themes, cute pastel by themes. That was a custom one for our store in a collaboration. And John of Chestnut Yes dyed yarn to match the bags. And so they come as a set, and we have matching stitch markers, or you can get the bags on their own, and they're very cool. And we sell out of them super fast. So we're constantly restocking with new designs. So
is this one of them?
that is one of them.
Yeah.
Beauty. That's right.
Yes. Oh, I love that one. We only got one. I was so sad. Yeah, you got it.
Yay. Yeah, I showed this to my students and they were like, yes, all of the yes. Okay, great. Yes. I see that you are working away at something over there.
I am working on a Find Your Fade shawl by Andrea Mowry. So it's done in yarn that I dyed with my sister one day. She came over and we just kind of goofed off. But so far I'm on my fourth color. I'm just working it in now.
Beautiful. And are there 7 colors on that?
I don't know if I have 7 total. I think I'm gonna end up with 6, but they're a sport weight instead of fingering, so it'll work out.
Beautiful. Oh yeah, it's a shawl. It's choose your own adventure.
Yeah,
John loves making shawls, but hates wearing them. So.
Yeah. I give them all to my sister.
Well, that's a lucky sister then.
I am actually working on I have a side business, or another business that I had first, that's called Knit Me, which is a Canadian yarn subscription box. And I also do kits for beginners, absolute beginners, never picked up a pair of needles. Here's all the things you need to make this kit or make this project. And then also intermediate kits. And experience. I make kits and subscription box. So I'm actually working finally on a new one for socks, for a beginner sock pattern, which I've been promising people I would be doing for 2 years now. And I've just been tired.
And is it like a vanilla sock pattern with the yarn for it? Okay. Yeah. Beautiful.
And I've done some experimenting to find the easiest of all short rows for the socks. And I think I found it. And also, it's really pretty. Look how seamless that is.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm
What
very
is
excited.
it?
It's called Shadow Wraps.
Oh,
Mhm.
never heard
Because
of it.
I thought German short rows were the best, and then I like talked a big game. John tried them and was like, no, I prefer wrap and turns, which hurt me to my soul because I think wrap and turns is the worst thing that's ever happened to knitting. That's
Holes.
not true, but it's still, they suck. I hate them. Anyway, so this one's great. So anyway, I'm using Knitsia sock yarn to do this kit. So it'll be super affordable because I don't like, there's no point doing a beginner sock kit with, $35 yarn because that's terrifying. So this is very inexpensive. If you fuck it up, it's totally fine. And you don't have to feel bad because it's really good, sturdy, like superwash merino nylon, but at $6 a ball.
Yes. That's at KnitMe?
Yes, knitme.ca.
Beautiful. Knitme.ca. Excellent. And what about to your podcast? Where can we find it? How often do you podcast? Nervous laughter?
Previously, for a very long time, we were doing great at vaguely every other week. Then we got super depressed and or injured and or life just happens. So we took an unannounced and unintentional accidental hiatus for 2 months, but we're back.
Yay!
back.
So we can find you on YouTube at Bistitchual
Audio. Audio only because we cannot pay John enough to edit a video podcast. In that we don't pay John at all. But audio only because we are bad at speaking a lot of times and a lot of stuff gets taken out. So we're on all your podcast apps.
Yeah, we're on
Excellent.
Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, all the aggregates.
Okay.
And is Bistitchual podcast.
We're also just on Instagram. We have the website bistitchualpodcast.ca, and you can just stream from there as well.
Excellent.
There's a link to the podcast on the store website as well, just in case that's easier to remember.
Just in case you can't find it in one of the 500 other places. It's
You
also
would be surprised. Honestly, you would be surprised.
I'll put everything in the description too, just as an extra,
And yet there will
Perfect.
still be at least one comment being like, where can we find the podcast? On our podcast Instagram. Commenting on a picture. They'll be like, where's the podcast? Like, it's everywhere.
And that's the internet. It's like when the pattern is like hashtagged and the name's there, they're like, where's the pattern?
What is
Yeah, I get it. So I happened to hear while I was watching your live the other day, you dropped Ben de la Creme's name during the podcast. So I was like, oh, maybe Kelsey's watched at least one episode of Drag Race. I don't know.
One, definitely, at least one.
One. So my final question for both of you, if it applies, is who's one of your faves from the Drag Race?
Adore Delano. I would die for her. I love her so much. She's such a hot mess, and I relate to that in my core.
Emphasis on the hot.
Yes, just a hot mess in every sense. And I loved being able to see a queen who was a mess and who just embraced it, and it worked for her. And also when she came back and then realized it wasn't for her, like she took a step back and she prioritized herself and her mental health over all the shit that goes on in this show. And I just I am so proud of her for that. I love her. I also love Sharon Needles. I love all the grungy queens.
Well, Katya's my favorite.
Oh my God. I forgot about Katya. Just both of them, like Katya and Trixie. I want to be them. I want to be their friends. I want them to read me bedtime stories. I love them.
I've literally never watched an episode of Drag Race. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's excellent entertainment in every way. What?
I
can
would
tell.
also be remiss if I did not mention any of our wonderful Canadian queens, especially Priyanka. Oh.
What's my name? Exactly.
It was amazing to see. Watching the Canadian one was great. So great. It was nice to see like it was not a dictatorship in how things gone. It was run by a collective.
Yes.
It felt very fair. Everyone was very kind. It was the show I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
And all that amazing Canadian rep.
I felt that. Plus, like, it's a bit of a fan moment, but Brooklyn Heights went to my high school. Went to my high school that I teach at.
Stop! You
Probably was a dance major.
Oh, that's so cool.
Anyway, I want to say thank you so much to both of you for joining me. This has been a ridiculous amount of fun, and I can't wait until I can see you in person in the store someday.
Would love that.
One day, yeah.
Come on, Ontario!
Yeah. We can host an episode. We can do an episode recording in the store
Yeah.
all together.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much, and I hope you have a great afternoon.
You too.
Bye.
Yarn. Oh, I start to salivate. Some shorts, modeling pictures. I got some shorts, modeling pictures. Some shorts, modeling pictures. Yeah, yeah, yeah.